Why don't we come onto our backs? Let's have the legs straight today, unless, of course, your back hurts with your legs straight, and then feel free to bend your knees, maybe even rest them together. That feels nice. And we'll have the arms out by our sides, a little away from the body with the palms up. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, go ahead and do so. Start to feel the weight of your body releasing into the ground a little more with each exhale, relaxing. And also noticing if there are places that aren't relaxing, and let that be okay. And we can start to really focus on our breathing and let the breathing slow down, deepen the breath. Bringing it fully into the belly, then up and across the ribs, and finally up into the chest. The exhale comes out of the chest, then the ribs, then the belly. And then take the arms overhead. If the knees were bent and you can straighten them now, please do so. We're going to inhale and reach out of the right arm, stretching long. Exhale, right arm relaxes back. Staying with the right arm, reaching the fingertips, and then just undoing that effort and relaxing on the exhale. Continue like this. And on your next breath, switch to your left arm, letting the right arm rest. Just one more on this side. Rest. Now right leg. You can see if it feels like more of a stretch to reach out of the heel or out of the toes, or maybe it's neutral. And on your next inhale, switch to the left leg. And then on your next inhale, reach out of both arms. Really take your time to complete the breath. Maybe using the stretch to help you lengthen the breath as well as the body. And let the arms rest and then do both legs. And rest the legs. And then we'll do diagonals, right arm and left leg. Really keep reaching in longer and see if that doesn't cause the breath to come in. And on your next breath, switch left arm, right. One more. And finally, both arms and both legs. Everything moving away from the center and then relaxing back in toward the center. Now we're going to continue that same kind of pattern. Just bring the knees in, take them with the hands, and on the inhale, let the knees move away. And on the exhale, bring them in. If you prefer on the exhale, you can bring the forehead to the knees, and the knees to the forehead, or just keep it simple. If you really want to work harder, you can inhale the legs and arms overhead, exhale, and crunch up. But it's Thursday, so hopefully you're content just doing the stretching, but that's fine if you want to challenge yourself more. See what works for you today. Maybe you need to bring more energy into the body and want to work harder. Maybe you just need to relax. If you're doing one of the more challenging versions, can you bring your hands to your knees again? And then we'll inhale and open and exhale, knees together. Inhale, knees apart. Exhale together. Take your time, complete the breath. Really try to get a sense of breathing, kind of like a sea anemone. Just kind of like expanding and contracting. One more. And then stay with that rhythmic breath and circle the knees around away from each other. So they're not moving together, they're moving apart and mirroring each other. Just warming up those hip joints a little. And then circle the other way. And then come back to stillness. And yet the breath, of course, is not still, and you're going to stay connected to the breath. And roll over onto one side. Maybe now the back of the body can breathe a little more. And then you bring yourself up. And come right to hands and knees. We'll start with just a couple of rounds of cat and cow. As you exhale, the tailbone tucks, the belly lifts, the head drops. As you inhale, the tailbone curls up, the belly drops, the eyes lift. And then you can stay in cat and cow if you want, or you can join me in a sunbird where the spine is the same, but The leg extends out and lifts up. We'll start on the left side and then on the exhale, pulls in. You can also challenge yourself more if you're doing that by also lifting the right arm and then bringing that in. So again, make it your own. See what's going to serve you today. And then if you're using your leg, please bring it down and switch sides. If you were using your arm on the other side, go ahead and do it again on this side. Work your abs a little by really pulling the knee toward the nose. And the last one. Releasing the knee down. Beautiful. And we'll take both knees out. And you want to keep the knees straight out to the side. So a lot of times I see people with their hips in front of their knees or behind their knees. And you want the hips to be straight in the middle of your knees, lowering down. And then your feet are level with your knees as well. So your legs are bent at right angles. And then if you can come down onto your elbows, go ahead and do that. If your forehead can come all the way down, you can rest it on your hands or your fists. And then just breathe deeply. Maybe you can have the image in your mind as you breathe of expanding out and contracting back in. And then lift yourself up. Bring the knees in. And just kind of wag your tail a little bit from side to side. And then looking over your left shoulder when your hips go left. Looking over your right shoulder when your hips go right. And then come back to center. And then we're going to lower the chest to the ground. So you're going to need to kind of move yourself forward. Most of you will be able to keep your hips over your knees and bring your chest on the ground. So you probably want to bring your hips as much forward as you need to rest the actual chest on the ground. Your hands will come under your shoulders. Your chin will rest on the ground. And you'll breathe here. And every time you exhale, you'll sink the weight of your spine into the earth. And then press yourself up. Bring your forehead toward your knees, coming onto the back top of your head. Bring your arms back, turn the palms out, and if you can grab hold of your heels, grab hold of your heels. If not, grab wherever you can, moving your forehead as close to your knees as possible. Hold on tight and then lift your hips as high as you can. Breathe into your back body. And then release your hands back down. And just sit on your heels for a moment and take a few breaths in child's pose. Bring the hands back under the shoulders. Lift yourself back up onto hands and knees. Step the right foot up, out to the side, to the right of your hand, and then drop your hips down. Good. And then if you can, bend your elbows. If you can come down onto your elbows, go ahead and do that, and then maybe stack your fists and rest your forehead on your fists. Keep all 5 of those right toes on the ground. Breathe deep enough that you can feel somewhere in your body expanding and relaxing. If you're on your elbows, come up onto your hands. Bring the right hand to the right knee. Press the knee in toward the body. And then turn and look over your right shoulder. You can use your left hand on the ground to help you twist even more. And then maybe you want to press down into your left leg. See how that feels. Beautiful. Come back around to the front. Walk that right foot over to the left until the foot lines up with the left hip. And then go ahead and bring the knee down. So if you need to make it a little easier to be here, you just slide that right foot in closer to your pubic bone. If you want to make it harder or more of a stretch, you move it away until the shin is basically horizontal. Good. And let's take a breath in, lift the heart, and then exhale and fold forward over the leg. And again, it's nice to rest your forehead on something. So if it doesn't come to the ground, you might make fists or stack hands. Good. Now, we're going to rock a little bit here. So lowering the left hip and then rocking back into the right hip. You're probably already largely in your right buttock. And so you're just going to rock a little bit to the left, aiming your left hip down and then return. And then come to stillness. Lift your torso up. Bring that left leg around. Tuck the right foot in. Inhale, reach up. Flexing the left foot. Exhale. Bring the left arm to the inside of the left leg. The right arm reaches overhead. And then press the left arm into the left leg, rolling your left ribs under you, taking your gaze up and reach long as you inhale, just as we did on our backs when we began. And then relax on the exhale. Reaching long and one more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale the hand to the ground behind you. If you can press into your hand and lift your hips, do that. Otherwise, you're fine staying on the ground. If you lift your hips, you might press down into your right foot a little bit more to get those hips under you. Let's all drop the head and arm back. And expand out away from the center as you breathe in. And relax as you breathe out. And then lower the buttocks down. Turn to face your left leg. Bring both arms up. Flex that left foot. Inhale, reach up long. Exhale, fold over the leg. And drop the elbows. Drop the forehead. Press down firmly into the back of your left leg and reach out long through the crown of your head as you inhale. As you exhale, you can draw the navel in, relax over. See if the arms and shoulders are relaxed. The deeper your inhale, the more you release on your exhale. We get into the stretch not by pulling or pushing, but by letting go. On your next inhale, roll yourself up, reach up. Exhale the hands down. And then bend your left knee, plant your left foot on the ground, bring your arms in front of you, and send your right leg all the way back. Beautiful. And then bend the elbows to lower your body as much as you can. And if that means coming down onto your elbows, fine. If not, also fine. The body is wise and knows where it needs to be. And let your forehead rest if that's within reach. Press down into your toes. If you're not on your hands, come onto your hands, lift yourself up, and bring your left hand to your left knee and pull it in toward your right arm. And then turn your belly to the left, look over your left shoulder, maybe even push a little with your right hand. Maybe press down into your right foot. Really let the breath take this even deeper. And come back to the front. Heel toe your foot over to the right. Once it lines up basically with your right knee or so, then go ahead and drop your left knee down. If your left knee doesn't come down with your foot where it is, just pull the foot in closer to you. Inhale and lift your chest. Exhale and release the body over. Rest your forehead if you can on stacked fists or hands. And we'll do that rocking again. It can help if your hands are free. You don't need them for your, if you don't need your left hand for your forehead, you can kind of use that to help the rocking. So we just dip the right hip down and then return back. And relax. Lift yourself up. And bring the right leg out to the side. Come onto both sit bones and tuck your left foot in. Flex your right foot. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, right arm to the inside of the leg. Left arm reaches overhead. And press the back of the arm to the inside of the leg, helping you roll your belly open. With your gaze up. Inhale, reach long out of the left arm. Exhale, relax. In breath reaches. Out breath releases. On your next inhale, lift that arm. Bring it to the ground behind you. Press into that hand if you can. Lift your hips up. If your hips are lifted, you can press into the top of your left foot to help tuck your hips under you even more. Drop the arm back, drop the head back. Expand and relax. And then release the buttocks down. Turn to face your straight leg, flexing that right foot. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, relax over your leg. Go ahead and let those elbows bend. Let the arms relax. And then as you inhale, push down into the back of your right leg and extend longer through your spine. As you exhale, you can draw your navel in and just relax. Feel each breath lengthening and letting go. And then on your next inhale, roll up, reach the arms up. Exhale the arms down. And then just fold that right leg in, sitting cross-legged. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And relax the shoulders. We'll start to draw a circle in the air in front of us with our nose. And you can do this with strain, but try to do it with ease. Like you're drawing the circle with a feather. And then reverse directions. And come to rest. Roll over your legs, back onto your hands and knees. Bringing the knees hip width apart. Walk the hands one hand's length in front of the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Curl the toes, take a breath in. And when you exhale, lift the knees, but keep them bent. Push your hips back by pressing your hands forward, still bending the knees, and really drop your head all the way down. And then press your left heel down. Push into your hands and shift your weight back into that left hip even more, and then lowering the heel even more. And then we'll just bring the hips a little bit down toward the floor, just to deepen that stretch in the calf. Lowering the hips, keeping everything else the same. And then shift the hips back, straighten the right leg and bend the left knee. First, we'll work on lowering the heel, pressing forward with the hands, pressing back with the hip, and getting that heel to come as low as it can. Keep the head relaxed down. And then, keeping the heel down, just shift a little bit, bringing the hips a little forward and down. Good. And then bring the hips back, straighten both legs, roll the shoulders down the back, roll the elbows down toward the floor, press into the index fingers and thumbs, and inhale and lengthen the spine. Exhale, sink the chest and head. Beautiful. Now we're going to walk the feet up, but we're going to walk them up wide. That's it. And then bring the hands to the hips, elbows to the sky, and bring yourself up to standing. And then take the arms out to the side. Close the eyes if you can. And then we'll just breathe here like a starfish. Inhaling out from the center. Reaching out through the hands, down through the feet and up through the head. Exhaling, relaxing back into the center. Chest expanding. Almost like you're brightening the body. Taking the dimmer switch and just turning it up a little bit. And then dimming back down. And then go ahead and clasp the hands behind your back. Roll the shoulder blades in. Straighten the arms if you can. Lift the hands away from the body if you're able. Take a breath into the chest. Exhale and fold forward. Lifting the arms. Push down into the feet. Lift the thighs. Roll the shoulder blades in toward the spine. And then lift yourself up. Release the arms and step together. Standing with the feet hip width apart and the eyes closed. Feeling the breath expanding and contracting. And then shift your weight into your left leg. Let your eyes softly open and rest on the spot in front of you. And then go ahead and take your right foot in your right hand. And if you can, also bring your left hand around your foot. If not, you can just let it rest. Good. And first pull the heel toward the buttock and press the buttocks forward. Breathe into your heart. Pulling heel toward the buttock. And now we're going to start to kick the heel away from the buttock. And really open the chest. Breathe into it. And relax the foot down. Close the eyes a minute. Feel the weight starting to shift from your left foot into your right foot. Your eyes open. And rest on one spot in front of you. And lift your left foot, bring it into your left hand. And pull the heel toward the buttock. And if you can also wrap your right hand around the foot, go ahead. If not, you can let the arm rest. As you're pulling the heel toward the buttock, press the buttock forward. Elbows back. And then start to kick the heel away from the buttock, really pulling that chest open. Breathe into the heart. And release. Close the eyes. Feel. Then drop the chin to the chest. Bend the knees. Roll yourself down slowly. And when your ribs rest on your thighs, just stay there for a couple of breaths. You might clasp your hands behind the back of your head and draw your head toward your knees a little more. And then bring the hands to the ground. Bend the knees more deeply. Then lower the buttocks to the ground. Lower all the way down onto your back. And with the knees bent, you can lift your buttocks, tuck them under, and release back down. And then straighten the legs, shake them out. If you're using an eye pillow, you might place that on your eyes now. And then we'll all let the arms rest out away from the body with the palms up. Legs rest a nice distance apart. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the body into the ground. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the jaw, letting the lips slightly part. And then inhale deep. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the activity of the mind. Focusing on the breath and just letting the breath happen. No effort to breathe anymore. We can just let the breath go and breathe on its own. And just feel the breath. Can you notice it without influencing it? And let the mind just rest in a curious, kind attention. Feeling breath come and go. Body letting go. Letting go. Breathe into your heart, fingers and toes. Reach the arms overhead. Take a deep breath, stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest, rock side to side, feeling the ground massaging your back. Come center, rub hand to hand and foot to foot. Roll onto your side, resting your head on your underside arm, resting your body on the ground, resting your mind on the feel of the breath, expanding and contracting. The rhythm of life. And then slowly bring yourself up, sitting cross-legged in the opposite way of how you're inclined to sit. Opposite foot in front. Sinking down into the sit bones, lifting tall through the head. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Let it all go. Chin to the chest. Namaste. Thanks for